Hello everyone, and welcome back to Comic Vantage. And today is our normal weekly comic haul, where new comic book day, I go down to my local comic book store, pick up my books for the week, come back home, give them a good read, tell you all about them. And one of the things, like always, there can and will be spoilers. So if you don't want spoilers, make sure you back out now. Come on back later. Check out this video in due time after you read them yourself. So, relatively light week this week. Let's start off with X-Men Gold number 29. And this is the whole Till Death Do Us Part storyline. This is Kitty Pryde, or the story leading up to Kitty Pryde and Colossus getting married. When last we left our heroes, the nanite-based Sentinel AI, calls himself Alpha, has kidnapped Peter, has taken him into space, and is using the legacy virus remnants from inside of his blood to create a new mutant-killing virus that he's going to send upon the Earth to kill off all mutants. This was particularly a really good issue. I can't explain it. I just really had a lot of fun reading it. You know, a lot of the X-Men titles up until now have been kind of, you know, you can give them or take them. There wasn't really any huge standout issues in the last few months, but this one here was particularly good. I really enjoyed reading it. A lot of the dynamic, a lot of the feeling behind Kitty Pryde just trying to save the man she loves really came through in this story. Had a huge blast with it, and I love Storm there, all Thored out, you know, with Stormcaster. What's weird is I don't know why they have Storm popping up in one of the other X-Men titles as well. Actually, I think it's X-Men Gold, and she is not carrying the hammer and not wearing this costume. It's really odd. It's like, okay, how do you explain that continuity difference there? And we have Alpha Flight making an appearance, donating their ships to get everyone into space. It was, like I said, it was a really good story. Great way to end out the arc up until the wedding, because the next issue is the wedding. At least I'm thinking it's supposed to be the wedding. So yeah, thumbs up for me. It was a good read this week. Next, from Image Comics, we have Medieval Spawn and Witchblade. This was particularly good as well. Issue number 1 was all about Spawn, King Valen, and how he became the medieval Spawn. And this one here is all about Witchblade, or the new Witchblade. There is a woman in the beginning of the book who carries the Witchblade, and she ends up fighting this horde of demons, and ends up dying and losing it. And then several years passed, and we have this new young girl, which for the life of me I cannot remember. Oh, her name is Starling. And she will be retrieving the Witchblade. See, they have her falling overboard, going into the water, and pachow. The Haberlin art is really good. You cannot not fault this man's artwork. It's really neat, very realistic. I love it. And he's one of the original creators of Witchblade, which is really cool to see him come back and do this. The series is starting off really well. I want to see where this goes. I believe it's a mini. I don't know how many issues it's supposed to go, though. But I'll be getting them, so I'll be telling you about them. And back to X-Men this week, we have X-Men Red, and this is issue number 5. This is dealing with the whole return of Jean Grey and how she wants to save the world. Our big bad in this series is Cassandra Nova, who is a very, very powerful telepath, also Xavier's sister. And she is trying to, I believe, start a war. Right now she's going around and she's implanting a Sentinel, I guess it's Sentinel technology directly into the brainstems of people, creating all this huge anti-mutant hysteria. And it's just spreading throughout the world. It's reaching a fever pitch, which is really like a throwback almost to the 80s and 90s when the anti-mutant hysteria in the X-Men books was really at a peak, and it was really a focus of the stories. So this was really cool. I enjoyed this. You know, Jean Grey is doing her thing. Oh, I love this. They have a pet Sentinel. And they painted her. And yes, they say it's a her. And it's funny because Gambit's like, how do you know it's a her? And they're like, we'll get into sexting robots later, or sexing robots. It was really fun. I enjoyed it. It has a lot of the characters that I really like in this book, so I couldn't complain. It has Gabby, it has Iceman. I love Iceman. He's like my favorite X-Men character of all time. And Gabby is just right up there. I love Gabby. And actually, here we go. There's Storm in a normal costume. Although this costume is really cool. I'm loving the revamp on this thing. Great book. It was a good read. I'm really enjoying it. I want to see where it goes. And I'm wondering what's going to happen with all these X titles after the whole relaunch they're doing on a bunch of these books. I know, like Astonishing X-Men, I think they're continuing it on, but with a new creative team. And I don't know what's happening with the rest of these. All right, so next up from DC Comics, we have Green Lanterns 48. I really, really, really wanted the Jessica Cruz cover, but I couldn't find it. So apparently it's really selling out. It's a great cover. It's one of those semi-virgin covers they did. And this is also one of my favorite DC characters, Jessica Cruz. And her dealing with... Now, we saw at the end of the last issue where Hal Jordan was going to be going and picking up her Green Lantern ring. Because through sheer willpower, she had reprogrammed the ring. And it almost has an artificial intelligence. It's completely reprogrammed. And the Corps is like, no, we cannot stand for this. We must go and repossess that ring. But it starts out with this little dude named Tiggs. And he is taking her under arrest. I don't know if I missed something somewhere. Apparently she attacked a bunch of police officers and she's having missing time. And this whole storyline is just trying to figure out what is going on. And of course, Hal Jordan is coming to get her anyway. Artwork was really good in this book. The storyline is really interesting. I cannot wait to see where it goes. It's been so funny. The whole, the last 2 years of Green Lanterns have been completely hit or miss with the storylines. Either they're really good or they're really bad. This is a book I don't keep on my pull anymore, because if a story arc comes out that just bites, I just don't buy it. I just stop for like 4 or 5 issues till it's done and then start with the next one to see if it picks up again. Because like I said, it really is hit or miss. I love this scene here. She's on the run and she's hiding out, and that there just reminded me of the cantina from Star Wars. I was just waiting for somebody to say a more wretched hive of scum and villainy, but it didn't happen. It did in my head though. All right. Oh, there's this little backup story here of the new Teen Titans. This was really neat. Just from reading this little snippet, I might pick this up. It looks kind of interesting. So yeah, Green Lanterns 48 picked back up this month. Really good story. I'd say grab it. And next from Image Comics, Death or Glory #2. The first issue of this book was absolutely amazing. I had a blast with it. The whole story is based around this girl. Her name is Glory Owen, hence the name Death or Glory. And she has, her dad is sick, and his name is Red, and she was looking to get money for a liver transplant, I believe. So she had a boyfriend who's a drug runner, and she decides to rob him, because she's an ex-husband who's a drug runner. And the money ends up getting destroyed, so she sees a truck, and she steals the truck, figuring it's full of drugs that she can resell and make some money. It ends up being full of people, and these are all refugees who have come from El Salvador and Brazil and places down in South America. And no idea, that's right where it ended. She opened the truck up, all these people standing there. So she buys them all tickets to go to Phoenix. This one man from Brazil stays with her. His name is Pablo. And he has questions for her, and he wants to help her out because he figures she's his only link, because his family was with him. They were all just kidnapped off the streets and brought over. So they didn't come over willingly. And yeah, he's staying with her because he figures she's going to have some kind of answer, or can get him to answers of where his family is at. Then we go back to a couple more issues here, and we're finding this gentleman named Korean Joe. And I thought in the last issue that Korean Joe was the head drug dealer who was supplying all the drugs, and it was his stash. It turns out he is in the human organ black market. And all these people that he had shipped up from South America were unwilling donors. There are some very rich people who were paying for all these body parts to survive. Oh, so I have no idea where this storyline is going from here. Because now you have the Mexican cartel, who is all very angry that their supply went missing. They think the Koreans turned on them. The Koreans think the Mexican cartel turned on them. I don't know where this story is going, but I'm really excited to find out. It was a lot of fun. I cannot wait. And the cover to issue number 3 looks pretty cool too. They've all had some really great covers. Yeah, this is a definite must read. This went on my pull, one of the few books I keep on a pull, because I don't want to miss an issue. This is really, really good. It's a lot of fun. This cover is gorgeous. And there was a Virgin cover this week as well, but my LCS didn't order it, so I was kind of bummed. But man, I'm happy with this one. So Death or Glory number 2. Everybody should be reading it, I think. And next up from Marvel Comics, we have Dazzler number 1. I opted for this absolutely gorgeous Bill Sienkiewicz variant cover. Man, look at that. I love this man's artwork. Absolutely beautiful. This is a 50-50 variant cover, so it's really easy to get. So you could probably walk into any store within a couple of weeks and they still have copies of it. So I believe this is a one-shot. I'm not sure. It felt like a one-shot. But anyway, we have Alison Blair getting back to her rock star roots. She's done with the whole superhero thing. The events of this book are supposed to take place directly after A-Force, I believe, which was actually a really good book. I'm kind of bummed that ended. It was a lot of fun to read. And we have her, like I said, getting back. And she's throwing these big concerts for tolerance between Inhumans and mutants. She wants everybody to get along. But that's not happening because we have this unusually militant group calls themselves the Mutant Nation, and they feel that, you know, mutant things are for mutants and no one else should step in, especially Inhumans. They're like, Inhumans shouldn't ride our oppression. So we have that whole thing going on. I'm not sure where it's going to lead to, but it might be kind of interesting. And we do have, you know, Colossus, good old Peter here, making an appearance, saying hi to her, telling her she always has a home in the X-Men if she ever feels like coming back. This is a cool story. Like I said, it just dealt with a lot with the tolerance between the different groups. Great artwork, great story, but it all leads up to what I feel, like I said, I think it's a one-shot. It leads up to her deciding to return to the X-Men. Because here we have X-Men 14. Dazzler will return in Astonishing X-Men number 14. Which is kind of a bummer, because I will not be buying this. So, but all in all, this was a good book. It was a great read. Gorgeous, gorgeous cover. Man, I mean, that cover alone is worth buying this book. You know, Bill here has just been knocking it out of the park lately, especially with all his Walking Dead covers he's done. Man, this is just amazing. Love it. After that, Sword Daughter number 1. This book has received some serious attention and critical acclaim over the last couple weeks. I had no idea. I walked into my store, saw it on the shelf, and I was like, hey, a number 1 book I've never heard of before. I'm buying it. So, I mean, that's what I do. And the whole storyline follows this young girl. Her name is Elsbeth. And the year is 991 AD. And this is her dad here. It deals with the aftermath of this Viking horde who decimated their village, killed her mother, the rest of the family. Her dad's been pretty much comatose and just wanted to die for the last 10 years. And when he finally snaps out of it, he comes to and he decides that... Actually, he doesn't kind of snap out of it. She sort of forces him to snap out of it. Yeah, the girl's a little spitfire and really doesn't say a word. There's no language for her, even though she can speak language because they do a lot of like thought bubbles in her head and you know what she's thinking about at the time. So you can see there, little X. And then she shows him, you know, the money and he asks where she got it at. And they do this just little, over there by the water. So he goes and meets the people who've been trading with his daughter while she's been taking care of herself and him, and gets the story of this group called the 40 Swords. And this is the group that attacked his village and killed his family. And now he's going to go for revenge, and he's taking her with. Originally, he did not want to take her with, but she decided she's going to go anyway, and he gives her a sword. And apparently she is not afraid to use it. Yeah, this girl's kind of a little badass. all in all, the story was really good. I love this artwork. It has a lot of expression to it, especially when you're dealing with a character that has no words. And the artist is Matt Chatter. Never heard of him before. But yeah, he does a really good job. The dialogue is still very good, even if it's one-sided. And I'm interested to see where this goes. I will definitely keep picking this up. Not your typical comic book. I really, really like it. It's more of a historical drama revenge piece, which is really odd to say, but man, I think it's going to work. So I'll be grabbing more of that. Definite thumbs up. And last on my list. Now, this book is actually a few weeks old. My LCS was finally able to get it in for me. Anyone who's watched my videos in the past knows I am in love with this series, and I could not wait for issue number 3. It's finally on my regular pull. I will not miss an issue now, so I will be getting the whole story. What we have here is we have our two lovers. Actually, they're not lovers. We have these two kids. We have Karen and Tamara, who are from two different worlds. We have the Nuoms and the Preoms, where the Nuoms use technology, the Preoms use magic. He was created through sorcery, she was created through cloning, both thrown on Earth. Earth is a bridge planet where these two worlds can cross over each other. So they were both sent there to grow up, being watched over by a guardian. And when they turn 18, they are set to get married and take over and bring peace among their two people. Well, needless to say, there are people in both worlds who do not want this. And they will try to stop them and kill them and hunt them. It's an absolutely great story. I'm having a lot of fun with it. It's just plain fun. The dialogue is great. The characters building up are really cool. We have two of their best friends from high school who actually just ended up being sucked into this little different dimension with them now. And we have our other factions of Nuoms and Preoms who seem to be working together to stop this. Because, there's no money in war, I'm guessing. Or no money in peace. They were sent back to a teenage house party to blow off steam. It's really cool. I'm really enjoying the story. I cannot wait to see where it goes. By the time we get to the end, this is Tamara's uncle. He's actually her caretaker, sent there to watch over her. He was given orders from his people to come back. He's supposed to use this bridge teleporter to bring them back permanently, even before they're married. No idea why. They've just been ordered to return. So this issue ends with all of them actually being sucked back into the Nuom homeworld, where they are now stuck. Really excited to see where issue number 4 goes. Here's the cover for issue number 4. Aftershock has just been really making a lot of good books lately. I would say if you're in your local LCS and you see an Aftershock logo on a book, that thing right there, just pick it up. Just do yourself a favor, pick up the book, read it. Because right now we have Betrothed that's running. We have a Walk Through Hell that's running. It just started. It's on issue number 2. Lost City Explorers is getting ready to come out. Brothers Dracul is going into issue number 3. And of course we have Animosity. We have Altars. What else do we have? Oh, Jimmy's Bastards. I mean, Aftershock is just really nailing it. A lot of these small independent companies are just doing such a great job right now. Aftershock, Black Mask, Boom. A lot of great books out there. Just do yourself a favor and just kind of spread out. Diversify. Anyway, those are my books for the week. Let's do a quick recap. We have Betrothed number 3. Definite thumbs up. Everybody should be reading this, or just anything from Aftershock. Sword Daughter number 1. Another really good story. Pleasantly surprised with this. It's going to be a lot of fun, I think. Dazzler number 1. Another really good read this week. And wow, this cover. Death or Glory number 2. Still keeping up the same momentum the first issue had. A lot of fun. Definitely grab this. Green Lanterns number 48. Starting the Rebel Run story arc. I believe the story arc is only going to run 2 issues, but grab it. It's going to be a good read. X-Men Red number 5. Jean Grey trying to save the world. It has a lot of good characters in it. This is one of the few right now that's really, really good, so you should grab it. Spawn Witchblade. We have the origin of the new Witchblade showing up. So the first issue is the origin of the new Spawn, and then this one's the origin of the new Witchblade. The next issue should have both of them coming together and, kicking ass. And then X-Men Gold number 29. Great wrap up to the Death Do Us Part storyline. Cannot wait to see the wedding. So, those are my books for the week. These are my opinions. Your mileage may vary. So, everyone that's out there right now watching this video, thank you for watching. I love you. All you guys, you're amazing. To all my subscribers, thank you, thank you, thank you. Make sure you share, make sure you thumbs up, all that kind of good stuff. Spread the word. This is a lot of fun. I'm having a blast with all you guys. To all my new viewers right now who haven't subscribed yet, hit the little CB over there. Make sure you subscribe. Hit that little notification up there. Make sure you get all my notifications. And like always, thank you for watching and take it easy.